Torah Q A. Good question. Does the Torah say anything about a Jew making a non-Jewish hairstyle? Torah Q A. Does the Torah say anything about a Jew making a non-Jewish hairstyle? The Zohar says a Jewish person who makes a non-Jewish hairstyle brings tragedy upon the Jewish nation. Again, Torah Q A. Does the Torah say anything about a Jew making a non-Jewish hairstyle? The Zohar says, which is part of the Torah, Kabbalah. The Zohar says a Jewish person who makes a non-Jewish hairstyle brings tragedies upon the Jewish nation. One more time. The Zohar says a Jewish person who makes a non-Jewish hairstyle brings tragedies upon the Jewish nation. Tragedies. So by the way, you know, when you're Kabbalah, there's something about Kabbalah that deals with energy a lot, honestly. A lot of Kabbalah deals with energy a lot. And, you know, just as we were discussing, you know, I mean, me and Kabbalahs from Israel a while ago, energizing as far as kavanot go. There's such a thing as negative kavanot, and there's such a thing as positive kavanot. I don't know the word, honestly, to say in English what kavanot means, but I know the explanation, which is, you know, about to get in here. But there is such a thing as energizing. Now, there's nothing wrong, of course, with a Gentile making, with a non-Jewish person making a non-Jewish hairstyle. Basically, a non-Jewish hairstyle is something that's been made or invented, you could say, by a Gentile, by a non-Jew, and he makes it, and it's a non-Jewish hairstyle because he did it first. So it's who did it first. Don't mix it up with hairstyles that are slick or cool, or hairstyles that Jews and Gentiles wear. Hairstyles, I said invented by a non-Jew. Really invented by a non-Jew. I'm saying, what is a non-Jewish hairstyle is the question. What's a non-Jewish hairstyle? It's not, don't confuse it with a haircut, but then again, a haircut could be a hairstyle too, so keep that in mind. But a non-Jewish hairstyle is something that is a non-Jewish hairstyle. So don't get sunk in with all the misinterpretations. Like, a split hairstyle is a hairstyle they used to have a long time ago, which that's not a non-Jewish hairstyle. There's a way to check Kabbalistically with Kabbalistic chart checking. When Kabbalistic checking, there's ways to check, which clarified that a split hairstyle is not a non-Jewish hairstyle. It's just a cool hairstyle people like to wear, Jews and Gentiles. So if a non-Jew makes a hairstyle like that, doesn't mean it's a non-Jewish hairstyle. A non-Jewish hairstyle is a non-Jewish hairstyle, and a regular hairstyle is a regular hairstyle. Kind of like, putting both sides of the hair, one like this, and maybe a little bit like this, or just going back, because it looks good, because it looks cool, doesn't mean it's a non-Jewish hairstyle. Like a lot of corrupt Haredi people like to portray the messed up image, or hair being put down. It's just a style. A non-Jewish hairstyle is something like, a mohawk, where you cut your hair. It's a non-Jewish hairstyle, where you need the hair cut to make the hairstyle that way. That's a non-Jewish hairstyle. Or spiky hair is a non-Jewish hairstyle. I used to wear spiky hair before I even knew too much what religion was, or what the Torah was anyway. So as far as people who don't know, if you don't know, you're not held accountable. But then again, things are happening. But then again, there are equalizers, as the Torah teaches in Kabbalah. There are equalizers for people who don't know, that it's something that the Torah doesn't let. But there are equalizers to equalize it later on. Makeups, really, is what Kabbalah categorizes it as. So again, don't confuse, don't mix up all the misinterpreted, nonsensical whatevers to what a non-Jewish hairstyle is. Another example of a non-Jewish hairstyle is a mushroom haircut, which is cut that way to make a hairstyle. But then again, if you, let's say, make a haircut like right here, lower than a mushroom haircut, and goes down, for example, like that, and just goes around, you know, around your head or whatever, and it's not exactly a mushroom haircut, that's not a non-Jewish hairstyle. So when it comes to hairstyles, non-Jewish hairstyles, be exact as far as angling goes, period. Then you'll be precise and technical. Don't be too technical, of course. It's my advice. So again, it's not a complicated situation as many corrupt Haredi people like to portray it as, because they don't want you to have a good time. They want you to look corny, so they can get on with their brainwashing once again, of course. So again, it's simple. A non-Jewish hairstyle is a non-Jewish hairstyle. You just got to know what it is. Non-Jewish hairstyles are for non-Jewish people to wear. It's for them. Now I mentioned something about spiritual energizing and kavanot. So let's say for a Jew to live a non-Jewish way is unhealthy for him. But let's say for a Gentile to live a Jewish way would be unhealthy for a Gentile. And again, everybody's different. So, meaning the kavanot of a Gentile might be, you know, to put a hairstyle on is to, you know, attract a woman, and maybe a place where Jews don't belong, for example, attracting women, or whatever. So there's spiritual energizing factors to take in consideration. Is with his kavanot, with his intentions. A good way to begin to describe what kavanot are, our intentions, our internal spiritual intentions, things that words can't put in, of course. But his intentions might be animalistic, which might be healthy for him. You know, maybe it's healthy for him because he needs to get the animal side out of him so he can enjoy the physical life, of course. Otherwise, he could get sick. A Jewish person, let's say, doing something that had kavanot with animalistic intentions from the animalistic side, I mean, from the animal soul, of course, would be unhealthy for him because he has to innovate on the divine soul, probably most of the time, as far as, you know, even relationships and stuff. Sure, relationships have their, you know, animalistic areas, which is healthy, of course, but if it comes from the same place as the Gentile did, it might be good for the Gentile. It might not be, of course, no problem with the 7 Noahide laws. But for the Jewish person, it could be. So, as the Torah does say, don't follow in the ways of the Gentiles, because we're Jews. You know. But then again, for Gentiles to follow in the ways of Jews might be spiritually unhealthy for him, because it might be a lie. So, I'm just trying to clarify. There's nothing wrong with both sides over here. It's not a sin for the Gentile. It's not a sin for the Jew. You know. So, just to clarify again, the negative Haredi vibe placed toward Gentiles as far as hairstyles go, they know what they're doing, which is wrong. And I'm saying, please cut it out. Be a man. Be a man. To anybody who deserves to hear this. Please. Please, please. So again, back on the topic. So, as far as mysticism goes, Kabbalah goes, the mystics of Kabbalah, one of the things I'm actually explaining here is a mystical factor as far as spiritual energizing goes, and kavanot. That might be on the negative side for a person, it might be on the positive side for a person. Kavanot in fighting, or kavanot before fighting, or kavanot during fighting could really help a lot too. So, it's an interesting thing, you know, I think people want to know about. But, as far as, you know, kavanot goes, and spiritual energizing in the spiritual areas that were energized during the pathway, you could say, spiritually, internally, while making the hairstyle, his intentions and where he's going could affect the feel of things. Kabbalah likes to innovate on the feel of things. So I'm trying to, explain to Jews who really are not so learned in these areas, is that this could be bad for your health to make a non-Jewish hairstyle. Honestly, I used to wear it. I used to have spiky hair. I liked it. It was cool. Sure, girls liked it. But when I was 16, 15, 16, whatever, 15, 16, 15, and I used to feel different when I noticed later on that I feel different when making spiky hair. And then later on, a couple months later, after I stopped, it hit me that that Gentiles is really a Gentile hairstyle, non-Jewish hairstyle, and they wear it, and it's good for them, but it's bad for me, because I noticed, because I made the hairstyle again. Like, I feel good, and I'm trying to notice them, like, they feel, I don't feel good, and they feel good. And then a Gentile comes up, he's like, yo, that hairstyle's not for you. It's a non-Jewish hairstyle, bro. Yeah, I'm like, all right. He's like, go ask a rabbi why I told you that, man. I'm like, I did, and he found out later on. He asked another rabbi, and he says, in Kabbalah, it says a Jewish person who makes a non-Jewish hairstyle brings tragedy upon. It says that a Jewish person, the Kabbalah says a Jewish person who makes a non-Jewish hairstyle brings tragedies upon the Jewish nation. So, I wonder where the negativity came from as far as from my side, It's no negativity if a Gentile, if a non-Jew makes a non-Jewish hairstyle, of course it's not going to bring tragedies on the Jewish nation or on anybody, really. Even if he makes a Jewish hairstyle, honestly, So, I noticed it, I just stopped doing it myself, I made stipulations to my hairstyle, even if it were going up, just to make sure accidentally it might not end up like that if I was, kicking someone's ass in a martial arts practice or something like that, So, I was careful because I felt it internally, spiritually, I sensed it. So, it was something to the young Jewish young men, coming from a guy like me. I'm sure I could say I was more younger in your sense, and non-Jewish in your own sense, as far as me being 15 in my teen years. I ain't like now. I used to like whooping ass a lot too, just for fun too. So coming from me, somebody who's more wilder than you, literally, in every way, me telling you that, as far as a Jewish young man making, or any Jew, but particularly a Jewish young man making a non-Jewish hairstyle brings tragedies upon the Jewish nation, and is bad for you. Just as I could tell you as a cool young teenage kid who was the wildest and always the leader in the teen years and ran things for teens, and was the womanizer, known as the womanizer. I'll tell you, if you think it's cool to do it, it's not cool for a Jew to make a non-Jewish hairstyle. It's cool for Gentiles in ways, for their own ways. I'm considering the Mohawk hairstyle, but other other non-Jewish hairstyles is cool for them, but it's not cool for us. There's nothing wrong with them doing it, but there's something wrong with us doing it. So that's what I wanted to say, as a guy who's still the same since the day he was born, which is, I'm still the same guy, and I'm telling you that this is wrong for Jews, especially Jewish young men. Nowadays, with the building of the past, strong Jewish teenagers, to make sure that grown-ups don't try to, fool with us, you really be able to sense that there's something wrong with doing that nowadays than back, maybe a decade ago in my time. So, keep in mind. So, Torah Q A. Does the Torah say anything about a Jew making a non-Jewish hairstyle? The Zohar says a Jewish person who makes a non-Jewish hairstyle brings tragedies upon the Jewish nation.